All right. Thanks everyone for joining us here today, and particularly at late notice. I know the alert came out this morning, so we do appreciate you taking time out to come in. And it gives me great pleasure today to introduce the head coach of the Brisbane Broncos, Michael Maguire. Michael and his wife Joelle flew up last night, came into Brisbane, was in here first thing this morning. So we're delighted to have Michael, Joelle, and the entire Maguire family join the Broncos. Michael brings a wealth of experience as a career professional head coach, spanning circa 2 decades now. So we're delighted to have him join us from today. We appreciate these matters have happened quite rapidly, but we understand also that there's quite a significant amount of work that looking forward to rolling the sleeves up and supporting Michael on as we build into pre-season planning, which starts in a matter of circa 5-6 weeks, and then of course the season proper coming up at the start of next season. So look, without further ado, we'll open up for some questions here from the floor. I'm sure you want to hear from our head coach.
Imagine it's a significant appointment for yourself. How do you feel today?
Really excited, Pete. It's obviously a club there that you look from afar, and the enormity of what the Broncos have been through over the years, and definitely a club that, as a head coach, and what I love doing is coaching the week to week and the daily togetherness of a group of people, of staff and players. I'm really looking forward to it. Opportunities don't come around very often, and this one, when it was presented literally not long ago, all of a sudden now I'm sitting here, it's quite, I'm very honoured, to be honest. It's a lot of history in the club, and I do love history of what goes into a club, and I think that plays a massive part in what allows you to build a very successful organisation.
It's not the first time you applied for this role, mate. What drew you back then, and what's drawn you back now?
Probably much the same as when I applied for it some time ago. The path the clubs go on their own journeys, and I guess back then it just wasn't to be. But I always sort of had a look at if the opportunity came about, that I'd definitely have a look at it. And circumstances of my life play a part in that as well. I've sort of obviously gone through the last campaign that I had and enjoyed that immensely. But I am a career coach, so I love the daily stuff. And my last, campaign in the Origin, it was an incredible experience, I've got to say. It was an amazing experience, but I am a person that loves the day-to-day. I've actually missed having a staff, I've missed having players around me daily, and that's what I've got a lot out of doing as a head coach.
It's been a bit of a whirlwind for everyone, how this has all come about. Can you sort of just tell us about your timeline, how this all came about?
Yeah, literally last few days, if that, basically. Obviously, I never ever thought I'd be sitting here a couple of days ago. Literally it sort of did happen quick, but clubs move and circumstances happen, and I guess for myself I've got to look at and assess what I want to be able to achieve as a coach. Like I'm extremely hungry to win another competition, extremely hungry. Like what all organisations aspire, but I just see the opportunities and the ability of what a club like the Broncos can be. You can get pretty close to it.
How quickly do you think you can do that when you're title?
I'll go to work and get to know the staff and the players, and I'm not going to put a timeline on it, but I'm in a rush, like all of us. We all want to have success, I'll work every single day to make sure that we can improve, and I've got to get to know the playing group. I know a couple of the players intimately and through various walks of my life. And they all talk about how great the club is, so that's exciting. But getting to winning a grand final would be extremely special. But I know there's a lot of work to be done, and we need to start today.
Having watched from the outside, what do you think needs to be fixed?
Look, I don't want to have an opinion about what's happened in the past. I'm a person that probably really looks to the future, and I'll get to know the players first and the staff and my own staff and the ability of each of the players. I mean, I've studied every single player that plays at the Broncos for a long time. So I know the capabilities, but it's being able to do that every day. And the big thing for me is, I always look for a player, of one, a talent, but their character as well. I think the characters play the biggest part in any success that I've had across the walks of various organisations. It's played a massive part. So, building of the person is very important, and then allow the talents to come off the back of that. And it's something there that I want to talk to the playing group about when I can get a hold of the players individually and also as a group. Is that it's a great club, but we can create how we want to be and where we want to take the club.
It's a club with huge expectations, and some coaches haven't succeeded here. Why do you think you can bring a premiership to Brisbane?
But I love the expectation. I think that's part of what helps you go towards success every day. The expectation is that you turn up and you're at your best. And how we achieve that as a group, as a playing group, staff, organisation, we all play a part. That's one thing I've probably learned over my time, is that everywhere in this organisation plays a part in the success, and it's the past players to everyone that gets involved, will create and will enjoy that too. I mean, there's nothing better when you see a club rise to the success, because everyone goes on that ride together.
As a New South Welshman, how do you feel living in Brisbane?
I love Brisbane, so it's a nice place. It's I walked along the river this morning, so there was plenty of people out there saying g'day actually. So everyone knows everyone. So it'll be a great time. I'll talk to that. I mean, one thing about myself is that I like to create something great wherever it is that I go, and we've got a great opportunity here at the Broncos to be able to do that. But as I know, there's going to be a lot of hard work in front of us.
How do you unlock the best of Reece Walsh?
Well, to get to know Reece, that's the first thing I want to do, is get to know him as a person, and like all players across the competition, they're all talented. But again, getting to understand him and how he reads the game, educating him to the way I'd like him to play, like all of them. I mean, it's not just around one player. That's one thing you'll get from me, is that it's not just around one player. We're a team, and there's going to be certain expectations and standards that we all live to, and we'll all be a part of creating it.
No worries about any bad blood after the knockout in Origin?
No. I'm sure we'll have a bit of a laugh at that.
Matt, your last stint at the Tigers, what did you learn there about yourself as a coach?
It's what I've learned about everything across my career. You do learn a lot when you're in a challenging environment at times, but also too, I've seen the highs as well. So across, I guess, the walks of what I've been able to see as a coach is the highs and the lows, and I've learned massive amounts. I mean, I've just come out of an Origin series where I learned a lot out of that. I mean, losing one game and then having to make sure that you win the next couple. So across all the organisations, is, I guess, created myself to where I am now, and I want to make sure that I utilise everything I've got in creating greatness within the Broncos.
Matt, you get to work with Adam Reynolds again. I guess how much will you lean on him to start off your career?
I'm really looking forward to reuniting with Adam. I remember him when he was a young kid. I obviously started, I think he was about 18, 19, and he was coming off a battling injury, and he's gone on and won a comp. That's one thing that he's got. He's got the knowledge of what the top end looks like. So you obviously rely on players like that. And he's a lot further down the park now. He's a senior player. He was only a young player when I first had him, and to watch him develop through that period, and now see him carry himself as a family man. I love his values about how he loves his kids, and I think that plays a big part in a club. So I'll talk to Reno a lot about it.
When he stays captain, he'll stay captain.
I'll talk to Reno. I mean, he's a leader. So firstly, I've just literally arrived. So I've got to get to the players and find out where they're at across all facets of what they're doing. And then we'll make decisions moving forward. But he'll be a big part in the conversations.
Matt, will you be helping New South Wales find the next coach? Do you have anyone who you endorse?
No.
There's a few old boys like Shane Webber and Gordon Tallis aren't too happy with how things are going. I guess, do you have any words for them?
Look, mate, happy for them to have their opinions. I talk to both those guys. I'm happy to talk to anyone. And everyone's got their own opinions. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we're about making sure they see a really great performance on the field, so they become proud of that. That's something there that you can draw back on. They've been able to put a history into this organisation, but it's about this current crop of players creating their own now.
You kind of did that when you took over the Blues gig. You went to the former players and dug into the culture there. Is that something you see yourself doing potentially with the old boys?
I've only ever seen success across doing that. I mean, I was fortunate to meet people like Bob McCarthy, Johnny Sattler, Ronnie Coote, back at previous roles. So I like the history, and that's the thing that draws me to the Broncos is history. but also too being able to create the history with the current playing group. So that's a very special part of what you can actually build with the team.
Kev was giving you assistant coaches. Are they keeping their jobs?
I've got to talk to all those guys. Yeah, as I said, I've only just landed, so getting the ins and outs of where the club sits at the moment. Yeah, I'm looking forward to looking into that as we move forward.
Dave,
You
can
worked
you
with
talk us through?
Benteo, you worked with Benteo at South, so you know him as well. What could he offer as an assistant coach here?
Yeah, Benny's strong, mate. I really enjoy coaching. He's thorough in what he does, you know, but let me have a chat to the guys first and go through the formalities, and that's something there that, you know, I'll talk to everyone that's involved.
Dave, can you talk us through the timeline? Because it all seems to be very quick.
Yeah, it was very quick. I think once you're in a position last week where an outcome was reached, you know, the first person I called after connecting with our group here was Michael, and you know, I was pleased that he had a level of interest to want to get back in the arena. You know, he's a career professional coach who's, you know, as I said before, his experience is spanned over a couple of decades now. We happened to cross paths many moons ago down in Melbourne when Michael was an assistant coach there, and I had a different role then at the time. And you know, one thing I know about Michael is he's a terrific guy. He works incredibly hard, and he's a real family man, and I think that really aligns with our organisation. You know, as I said, you know, the conversations happened really quickly to the point where we were positioned this morning to be able to announce Michael as our head coach, which we're delighted about.
What day did you pick up the phone?
Thursday night or Friday?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Happened very quick.
So it's just speculation, Dave, that, you know, these talks were happening while Kevin was still technically head coach. So that's not the case.
Can categorically confirm that.
And does it, I guess, please you to hear that Madge might be giving an olive branch to the old boys who might be a bit upset with the way things were handled with Kevin?
Yeah, look, I think everyone, you know, when these things happen, and you know, there's a lot of emotion, a lot of reaction. You know, it's all a normal process to go through, and you know, I'd be disappointed if they didn't have that type of reaction, given, you know, the connection that those guys have, that we know, you know, they're on the wall up here winning comps together. So, yeah, I'd be shocked if it was anything else. But I hope in the fullness of time, you know, ultimately, you know, we're one club, and everyone's got a really strong connection to that as well. And I know everyone wants to see, you know, the club succeed, and everyone will get around Michael and help support him and provide him with the support that he needs and the tools, and the playing group as well, to help them, you know, achieve what they want to do. You know, we're certainly providing all the resources that Michael needs, and looking forward to, you know, rolling the sleeves up and getting to work.
Grant, you go through the ring yourself in political rushes and Tigers. Do you feel for Kev and what he's had to go through?
Look, I take my hat off to anyone that jumps into the coaching arena. I know Kev, you know, great man, but I guess, you know, circumstances happen, and I've been through that myself. So, look, you know, he's a big part of the history of this organisation, you know, and I'll always respect that. You know, and they're always great people, because you don't have the greatness of what they've done in the past if they're not like that. So, look, yeah, I've got great respect.
What about Alf here when you talk about greats at the club? There's talk about his future. Like, would you like him to stay on?
I've got to talk to Alf. Like, you know, I really like Alf. I've had a fair bit of time with Alf, so I think we all like Alf. So I want to sort of see what he wants to do with himself and work out where he fits in, and so I'll definitely have those conversations with Alf for sure.
Madge, as a coach, you seem to have a reputation of having a bit of a firm hand. Do you think that's fair, or how would you describe him as that?
Oh, look, mate, people say all sorts of things about me. I guess what I like to do is get to know the players, and whether that's firm or not, you know, it doesn't really worry me. Look, I've seen young players through the connections that I've had with them as people. That's the first thing that I care about, them as people. And then if they go out and train extremely hard, they excel, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, the first graders, they're winning competitions, they're origin level. So I've been able to expand that over many a player. But you know, I really like to know and get to know the player. And if that involves me being hard because I want them to succeed, it doesn't matter.
Talking about relationships with players, obviously it's Adam, but Payne, you got the best out of him in the Origin arena this year. How much have you been leaning on him to, you know, for ideas, how you approach the pre-season, how you move?
Look, I'll get to know all the players, and you know, there's obviously some more leaders and there's some younger ones coming through. But Payne, he was incredible. I've got to say, I was, you know, it was the first sort of time that I had a chance to spend a bit of time around Payne, and we all know what an incredible person he is, but also the knowledge that I feel that he and I can lift the group with. I saw him do it with the Origin. He was a leader. He was a leader. He was in the leadership group within the Origin space. Spoke very strong about what he wanted in that space, which helped me immensely. So obviously I'm going to call upon those sorts of things with Payne for sure.
So you can see him getting a pillar here as well, help you do that regularly.
I'm sure. Oh, definitely, yeah. And look, he's shown that already in what he's been able to achieve to this point. But I know one thing about Payne, he's very hungry to succeed. That's what I love about him. And look, I know there's a lot of other players within the group that he's shared with me that are very much the same.
Dave, are you glad Reece and Ezra are back in the country?
Very.
Where are things at from a club perspective with all of that at the moment?
I've spoken to both. From what I understand, I don't believe there's a lot in any of it, but I did strongly encourage them that perhaps next time they have a holiday, they choose a different destination and possibly even turn their phone off. But look, I think those matters, from our perspective, they're closed off. But certainly, that'll be a matter that we'll readdress back in the new year when they come back from their break.
Matt, what about people in New South Wales who are disappointed that you're not continuing on as Blues coach? What's your message to them?
I'd like to thank them. It was an incredible ride that we had together, and I'd like to think that things are in place that they'll go on and keep continuing because of and it's not just about one person. That's what you'll find from me in being at the Broncos. It's not about one person. It's about it was a coaching group, it was a playing group. They created what was seen there, and I thank them very much for the opportunities. And I've made it very clear that I am a coach. I've always wanted to get back into the club level, so everyone was very aware of what may transpire. Did I think it was going to be as quick? No. But the opportunity, and for the old boys that I down there, I had an incredible experience with a lot of the old boys down there, which I want to make sure that I bring those experiences to what we're going through with the Broncos. So I can't thank them enough for that. And I've spoken to a number of them, and they all said, "Mate, you're a coach. You could have gone from coach because it sort of just touches the appetite, but it doesn't give it the whole full throttle of what clubland brings." So they understand.
So you're talking about the old boys, something called Talis, he's brought from here, you'd love to have him at the club.
Yeah, I'll talk to Gordy. Yeah, I've had a number of laughs with Gordy throughout the Origin campaign, and it gives him something to talk about.
Just on Reece Walsh, did you talk to the NRL, or was there anything here with the integrity unit?
I believe the matter's been closed off. Thanks, guys.
This year, NRL on 9 is your one-stop shop for all footy.
That's right, Freddie. Not about the highlights, action, 7 days a week.
Billy and Gus podcast, get that on your drive on the way home. Immortal Behaviour, grab a seat on the couch for that. And of course, my favourite, Freddie in the 8.
The best footy brains, the biggest games.
Don't trust the algorithm, subscribe to NRL on 9 and get all your entertainment there.